Picture a lake the color of bubblegum. Not photoshopped, not a filter. Real water, glowing pink under an open sky. Somewhere on Earth right now, there's a lake like this sitting in a landscape of white salt flats and blue ocean, looking like it belongs on another planet entirely. So what's actually happening in that water? Welcome to Science Curiosity. Pink lakes aren't painted pink. They're grown pink by living things. Most of these lakes sit in hot, dry regions, in basins with no outlet to the sea. Water flows in, but the only way out is evaporation. Year after year, that leaves behind salt. Lots of it. As the water dries up during the warmest months, the brine left behind becomes incredibly concentrated, sometimes 10 times saltier than the ocean. For nearly every living thing, that's a death sentence. Cells shrivel. Proteins break down. Normal life can't survive it. But a small number of organisms don't just survive here. They thrive. The main character in this story is a single-celled green alga called Dunaliella salina. Under normal conditions, it looks like any other microscopic algae green, quietly photosynthesizing. But when the salt concentration climbs toward saturation, something remarkable happens. The alga starts producing enormous amounts of a pigment called beta-carotene, the same compound that makes carrots orange. This isn't decoration, it's protection. In hypersaline water, sunlight becomes brutal, intense of radiation. Oxidative stress. No relief. Beta-carotene acts like an internal sunscreen, soaking up excess light energy and neutralizing the damage before it destroys the cell. And here's the strange part. While almost every other organism is dying off as the brine gets saltier, Dunaliella's population actually grows. The harsher the conditions, the more it multiplies and the more pigment it produces. The alga doesn't work alone. Sharing this extreme environment are halophilic, literally salt-loving bacteria and archaea, including species like halobacterium. These microorganisms produce their own carotenoid pigments, with names like bacterioruberin, giving off reds and oranges of their own. In some lakes, they're the dominant color source. In others, it's a partnership, the alga and the microbes together, painting the water in overlapping shades of pink, salmon, and red. Even the salt crystals that form at the water's edge can pick up this pigmentation, turning entire shorelines rosy. This explains something curious travelers notice. Many pink lakes aren't pink all year round. During cooler, wetter months, rain dilutes the brine. Salinity drops. The stressed conditions ease off. The pigment-producing organisms scale back production, and the lake can fade to a duller green or brown. Then, summer arrives. The water evaporates. The salt concentrates again, and the pink returns, sometimes within weeks. It's a living response to environmental pressure, replaying itself every single year like clockwork. But there's at least one famous exception, a lake off the coast of Western Australia that stays pink all year, regardless of season. Scientists have studied it for decades, and while Dunaliella and halophilic bacteria are present, researchers still aren't entirely sure they explain everything about this particular lake. Genetic surveys have turned up a surprising mix of pigment-producing microbes living together in its water and salt crusts, and the full picture is still being pieced together. It's a reminder that even something as visible and photographed as a bright pink lake can still hold open scientific questions. Pink lakes are natural laboratories for studying extremophiles organisms that survive in conditions almost nothing else can tolerate. Understanding how Dunaliella salina protects itself from salt and radiation has already found real-world uses. The alga is now farmed commercially as one of the richest natural sources of beta-carotene on Earth, used in food coloring and nutritional supplements. Scientists studying these hypersaline environments have even pointed to them as possible stand-ins for what life might look like on other worlds, salty, sun-scorched, and still, somehow, alive. So the next time you see a photo of a pink lake and assume it's edited, remember, that color is a survival strategy. Billions of microscopic organisms using pigment as armor, turning one of Earth's harshest environments into a home, and painting it pink in the process. If you enjoyed this dive into nature's strangest colors, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever visited Pink Lake? If yes, then share your experience.